only one person can.
Dear viewers, welcome back. This is our final segment of NTV Europe's special local election debate 2018, and today we are very delighted to have all 7 mayoral candidates from Tower Hamlets. So thank you once again. All of you have spoken very eloquently. Well done to all of you. I'm sure you have, successfully you have reached out to so many of your potential voters. Whether they will vote for you or not, it is up to them. But I'm sure, you are trying your level best to give your message across. So this is our final segment. There are so much to talk about. So we were, on our last segment, we were talking about housing and community safety. All of you highlighted about antisocial behavior, what you're going to do about all those important issues. Democracy, is quite important, not only for the whole country, but even for own individual political party. So I'm sure all of you got your own candidate in each and every ward. So while selecting or electing those candidates, may I know what sort of democratic process you have followed? If I may start with you, Mr. Ohid Ahmed, what democratic process you followed within your own political party to put forward candidates for each and every 45 wards in Tower Hamlets?
Well, let me start with what the process we followed through when we selected our candidates. We just looked at every individuals. I myself went through a process.
Right.
My majority councillor selected me as the candidate, mayoral candidate. There was a process, a long process, lengthy process, and we had to apply, and then we just...
Rigorous, was it rigorous democratic
rigorous,
process?
and obviously...
or was it cherry picking, or united my people?
Well, democracy is such that sometimes you have to live with these people. When it goes in my favor, I accept it. When it doesn't go in my favor,
Thank you very much.
But what I'm saying, the democracy is such a wonderful thing.
We
just need to
and
practice,
you're enjoying every bit of it.
Every single
thank you very much. And part of the democratic process is happening right now here at NTV, holding all the mayoral candidates into account. That's what the shared, media should do in a shared civilized society. Mr. Hu, do you have candidate for other, do you have councillor candidate for 45 wards? Or
no, we don't. We're probably unusual in that we're the only party as a mayoral candidate who's put forward a mayoral candidate that doesn't have candidates in any of the wards that are standing. We have pledged that we will work, though, with any anti-cuts councillors that put them
based on ideology, philosophy.
Well, that's right. That win at the next election. So we have worked with some of the people on the platform in the past, but we will work with anybody who says that they will not make cuts in council. We cannot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rabina Khan.
How I followed the Democrat? Yes. So we
did you follow rigorous democratic process?
Yes, it's very important. We developed, we founded our group called the People's Alliance of Tower Hamlets, and we have retained that name. We haven't switched names, or we haven't moved from this name to another name, and we applied to the Election Commission under that one name in the first instance, and we were given and registered by the Election Commission. And as part of that process, what we did was we opened it up to, you have to have a membership form, you have to complete the membership form, you have to sign an expression of interest, you have to make sure you have an application form and interview, and you also have to be vetted. And I also think in the future, as elected members, we should be thinking about all councillors to have a CRB check.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kieran.
Yeah. So
did your party follow rigorous democratic process while selecting councillor candidates for other wards?
For the mayoral candidate, we did. I was very pleased to be nominated and then elected in an internal party election. We didn't have elections for ward candidates. We're very pleased that candidates are standing in every ward. But the Green Party is a small party, and what it means is that we don't have casual councillors. It means that anybody who is working with the Green Party is really committed in their community.
Mr. John Biggs, did your party follow the right rigorous democratic process in order to find out the right candidate, councillor candidate for 45 wards?
I got a sneaky feeling that, with possibly one other exception, mine is the only party that's got a mass membership which selected not only me, reselected me as a candidate, but selected all of our council candidates in individual branch meetings. And so every single candidate has the endorsement of individual members who sat in meetings, in evening meetings, and have chosen them as candidates from out of the community. And it's a very representative panel. We have about 5,000 members in the borough.
Thank you very much. Ellen, how about your party? Did you follow rigorous democratic process?
Yep, so for the mayoral, you have to be approved to stand for Parliament in our party to do the mayor as well. So, and to get that approval, you have to have a day-long interview process. So I went through that about 2 years ago.
How about the councillor candidates?
Then there was a vote to members. For the council candidates, we interviewed everyone. And for wards where there was a contest, so more than one person had put their name forward, there was a vote from the members across the borough. And then in places where it wasn't contested, it was approved by, we have an exec committee, and so it was us that approved people to stand. We got people to say things like they hadn't put anything dodgy on social media, and commit to that, and commit to what they do for the borough as well.
Thank you very much. Dr. Anwar Ali.
We have a very rigorous process in the Conservative Party. So for the council elections, we have 45 candidates which are standing. They all had to put in an application. They were shortlisted. They had an interview. Some of them had to also attend the hustings in the particular ward they're standing in. All of them were working extremely hard across the borough in every single ward in Tower Hamlets. For the mayoral, so first of all, application form, I had an interview with 10 people on the panel, and then a hustings meeting where all the membership were invited from both associations in the borough, and I won with 80% membership voting.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
And also we insist that our all our council candidates have a minimum literacy and numeracy and are competent and capable.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Business rate is going up in Tower Hamlets. Council tax is going up in Tower Hamlets. If I may start with you, John Biggs, do you have any plan? Why do you have any explanation why it is going up? And do you have any plan to, mitigate it down a little bit? Do you have any plan?
I think the answer to the last question, by the way, I think the two independent candidates seem to have invented their own political parties, which don't really have a democratic structure, and I think residents should be anxious
focus on
about
the council.
But on business rates, business rates are set by the national government, and we simply collect them locally.
Right. How about council tax?
There's a growing degree of autonomy.
I have only 3 minutes, so to be very
on
quick.
council tax, I would like to keep council tax frozen.
Right.
6% of the increase that we've had in the past 3 years was because of a government ruling about adult social care.
Right.
But I would like us to keep our council tax frozen because it is a very regressive tax.
Thank you very much. Rabina Khan.
I'd like to freeze council tax. Freeze council tax.
Mr. Rohit Ahmed is a councillor. The council, tax is going up.
Yes,
and,
so we
know Tower Hamlets property is a big concern. So
yes, it is a big concern, and we have had an unprecedented council tax increase by 9%, including that the current administration changed the local council tax reduction scheme, which means minicab drivers, businesses, and local vulnerable people are now impacted. They have to pay council tax. A disabled person, a young person, has now have
so
to
if
pay
you get
it.
elected, you're not going to increase it?
No, I'm not going to increase it. In fact, we have to look at it. Second thing is, you asked about business rates and local businesses. Well, one of the pledges that I put in there is that we need to set up a Mayor's Enterprise and Employment Board so that we can support our local businesses.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohit Ahmed.
Well, thank you. Our track record, we just need to look at our record.
Will you increase the council tax?
Well, council tax
manifesto.
Yeah, sometimes you just, obviously, you need to look at the track record.
Right.
When we're in administration, 7 years, we've frozen council tax. And current mayor has increased council tax 9% in 2 years.
Will you increase?
I will not increase. I've already made a commitment that I will freeze council tax again, and I will also make sure that small businesses like minicab and taxi driver,
will you increase
support
from us?
Okay, first of all,
yes or no?
Conservative councils across England and Wales charge about £100 less in council tax and provide better services. I'm not going to make rash judgments. I will endeavour my utmost to keep council tax frozen. But just in case I'm the mayor, I'm not going to make a rash.
Thank you very much. The final question. Tower Hamlets.
You asked everybody about business rates. Conservative in power. Okay, we have pledged to reduce business rates to 17% by 2022.
But my time is running out.
Okay.
You see, the media outlets, most of the Bangladeshi media outlets, they are located in Tower Hamlets. So if you get elected, how are you going to support it? If I may start with Rabina Khan. 10 seconds, you have 10 seconds.
Well, media outlets, we should be supporting all different types of outlets, and media is a very good example of the creative industry sector. And I would put
how are you going to support it?
put in a cultural strategy. We haven't had a cultural strategy which recognises all communities and their media and their literature and their artwork in this borough.
Thank you very much. 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yes, please.
No, well, I'm happy to come on any programme and support them.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kieran.
I think you can do it partly through business rates by looking to reduce them for non-private business, something that's a cultural good.
Thank you very much. Mr. John Biggs.
I think there's a big...
How are you going to support the media?
Well, there's a big enthusiasm amongst the community for the media, and it's a good way of getting into the creative industries in London, and I'd like to encourage that.
Thank you very much. Ellen.
I think first of all it's working out actually what you need. So is it that there are issues around business rates? Is it that there are issues around the spaces that you're operating in? Obviously I've been on here a few times, so I'll carry on doing that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anwar Ali.
Well, I'll have
How are you going to support the local media?
As my husband owns a Channel I, but Conservatives have a record of supporting business, and we have already pledged to reduce business rates to 70% by 2022. Above and beyond that, I will have to look on merit at each of the viewership and what they're doing. But as I say, I do have a prejudicial interest, and I'm declaring on TV.
Thank you very much. Which you should not. But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Rohid Ahmed, how are you going to support the local media?
Yeah, thank you. People already talked about cultural strategy, and this is one of the things obviously we all have to do. But
are you going to support the local media?
Exactly. Yeah. Besides, I already made a statement before that all local media should be supported in a way. It's not only a few media outlets. All media should be supported through advertisement. Also, we just need to look at the business rights. If it is possible, there are small businesses.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm there to support.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all 7 of you. Well done. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best for 3rd May. And you have put your manifesto, your agenda very eloquently, and I'm sure your potential voters will be convinced. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আজকে এনটিভি ইউরোপে আমরা লোকাল ইলেকশন স্পেশাল টিভি ডিবেট অনুষ্ঠান আয়োজন করেছিলাম। অনুষ্ঠান এখানে শেষ করব। আপনারা সবাই ভোট দিবেন, আপনারা ডেমোক্রেটিক যে ইভেন্ট আছে তাতে পার্টিসিপেশন করবেন, আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, সেই আশায় আমি আদনান পারভেজ আজকে এখানে শেষ করছি। থ্যাংক ইউ।